You would think it's Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I bought an MP5. I'm gon' hit this way, bro, hit that way, we hitting from every side. Run up, get up close and tap that head, so we know he died.
This is Reaconteur, the most important development team on Roblox. He's explaining why Rogue Lineage is monumental. You know, as many people who know, it's a fact. It's literally one of the games on Roblox. It's one of the games, like.
Along with how spec heavy this game was with its developers and staff, along with the rampant
No, it is the game
going on in this game's community, from trainer NPC locations, which were even moved.
Dude, it started so many fucking waves on Roblox, bro. It started so much shit, bro.
Locations would get leaked, all the way to gatekeeping things as small as armor dye colors. No, I'm not joking.
He's not lying. Niggas would literally... Wait, what did he say?
Gatekeeping things as small as armor dye colors.
Niggas were gatekeeping the, there was this dye they were using on, like, the Kuso D-Slayers. It was, like, gray, bro. It was, like, Vile Seed plus brown from Forest 5 or some shit. And, like, I was trying to get it for the longest time. Nigga. And there was just other fucking gate-kept, like, house shit. Like, what the fuck, nigga? Let me dye my shit. Die.
No, I'm not joking. People would gatekeep armor dye colors. Basically, every practice and behavior you hate from Roblox CC game communities like OG Type Soul and hundreds of others can be at least somewhat attributed to Rogue Lineage, making people think that was acceptable. Other people blame Snake World. I hate Snake World, but that's besides the point. And games like Shinobi Life and NO2. But I personally think Rogue Lineage popularized it way more. Anyway, Rogue Lineage's unique combat system was huge. To this day, the game still has 1,000 or more players on average, even without updates, because people just grew to love the game that much.
Yeah.
Ragoozer and Archmage truly did outdo themselves to a certain extent. When it came to fun combat and mechanics in Rogue Lineage, there were a lot of them. Too bad for every bit of fun, there was so much more that wasn't fun. Rogue Lineage made developers more willing to experiment with permanent death and unique combat systems rather than the old base combat or just full stun combat anime games like ABA, which coincidentally was actually pretty new when Rogue Lineage first came out in May 2019, but I personally don't believe that ABA really influenced much because all of the ideas taken from ABA were taken from other games. ABA's combat isn't particularly unique, and literally everything in that game is ripped from a different source of media, so it's not that impressive. Rogue Lineage, though, was impressive because it was fully unique and there was nothing like it on the platform at the time. Although the beta was previously in closed community access in, I believe, 2018, regardless, Rogue Lineage had many problems. The original progression required over 60 player kills at one point, in a game where you had 3 lives. It might have even required 120 before that. I've been playing since release, but I actually do not remember. But either way, they expect you to kill 60 players in a game where you had 3 lives. That's insane.
Dude, nigga, 60 grips back then? Dude. I remember actually the solo prog from Navar and Fred, or it wasn't even Navar. Anyways, I went church night. And it took 60 grips to go church night. It was a super, bro. Like, bro. But that was actually one of the more possible progressions. I didn't have to go sigil helmet. I went straight into gripping niggas on site. It was fire.
They expect you to kill 60 people without dying 3 times. Super realistic, but good thing scrooms exist. They also had super high class requirements for experience. The game didn't have inventory saving until like 2020, which was really bad. Phoenix Feather was an old artifact that got removed that made it so you could charge mana, and charging mana would just heal your full health bar in 4-ish seconds as long as you had hunger. Artifacts used to have decimal point rarities, Fisherin. In fact, the entire RNG race system is some bullshit. Mages, even after all the nerfs, remain the easiest thing to play ever and manage to both be unfun to play against and boring and uninteractive to play, especially with the Philosopher's Stone artifact, which takes the tiny bit of memory and skill that you have to use to play Mage and just removes it. Mage is genuinely so boring. Macro combos take the skill and timing out of the game. Exploiters and black marketers are super common and ruin the experience for legit players. The game's been abandoned and left to one developer who doesn't work on it enough for consistent or good updates. You get the point. The game is fucked now, and then in different ways. But still, it is and always will be a great game. Although, yeah, there used to be like 5 different ways to infinite combo people without even getting a class. Sorry, this game is trash, but I love it. And when the developers Ragoozer and Archmage realized their game was trash, they truly applied everything they learned about game design into their next project, being Deepwoken. And oh my god, Deepwoken improved on basically every category except for 2. Progression satisfaction, and fun. One being subjective, and one being a direct statement from Ragoozer that I personally found. I personally find Rogue Lineage more fun than Deepwoken. The game is faster paced, the combos are more satisfying, the movement feels quicker. In my opinion, the sound design is actually better too. Many prefer Deepwoken, but that's just opinionated. However,
Dude, it's like, what's more, even more fun? I don't know, bro. Deepwoken's fun, Rogue's fun, bro. I think it's definitely harder to understand how the fuck you're having fun on Rogue compared to Deep. Like, I feel like, you know, you kill way more mobs, you get a little bit more dopamines per second. And Rogue, you don't kill as much mobs, you know? It's just a bunch of players coming in, fucking leg breakering you and throwing you off a cliff. But that's fun, like, it's genuinely fun. Like, you gotta learn to find the fun in that, bro. Facts.
Actually spoke with Ragoozer about his thoughts on Deepwoken, and his biggest problem with it was the lack of significant progress gain, if that makes sense. In Deepwoken, there is no significant jump in power. Each power level doesn't feel different from the last. Power 1 and 2 feel the same, power 19 and 20 feel pretty much the same. Bells were supposed to supplement that feeling of that major power boost, but
yes, bro. Like, the bells, enchants, fucking whatever else, bro. It's not rare anymore. Like, it barely had a time to be rare, bro. Like, they changed it so quick. Like, Rogue had artifacts rare for like a long ass, it was like 2-3 years, bro. Nigga, enchants damn near, like, bro, barely had no time. Like, bro, fuck, bro. Fuck, like, you know what I mean? It was like 4 years till artifacts got a buff. Like,
bells now are pretty.
but shit should have stayed rare. Like, shit like that should have stayed way more rarer. And shit like that. Well, bells, of course, you know, you're gonna log on. I'm talking about, like, the enchants, bro. Like, enchants should have been rare and shit, bro. Like, the way they were, or something in the game should have been rare. Like, build all, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, bro? They fucked up all the rarities, bro. I feel like I can just hop on and ask for anything from it, or some random ass cool looking dude, and I'm gonna get it, because I've done it. I've literally done that multiple times. I don't have to play Deepwoken to get the cool items anymore, bro. I just walk up to the cool looking dudes that have 50 of them in their bank. I literally don't even know these things, bro. They just have too many of them. It's not rare. Nothing's rare.
Underwhelming and also somewhat irrelevant when a majority of the community plays Chime of Conflict, which has bells disabled. And most spells are utility based, not really making you feel exceptionally powerful. In comparison to Rogue Lineage, where you get 2 big boosts in power from base to super class, and then from super to ultra class, and then potentially an extra boost of power when you get stuff like god spells, rare spells, and artifacts. You will feel stronger and more capable as soon as you hit those goals. However, despite these 2 shortcomings, Deepwoken did improve on balancing, combat longevity and pacing, map design, lore and world building, and it improved on all of these exponentially in the years leading up to Deepwoken.
Is that true? Because I would love to play Deepwoken right now. You know? Like, what do I do? Progress a new build or something? Because I feel like, okay, I have so many builds progressed, right? What do I do now? Like, what do I do? I'm a power 20 in fucking Gaia roaming around, or whatever it's called, in the Eastern Luminate, just walking around with other players. Maybe I attack them, maybe I don't. I don't know what to do. Like, what NPC should I talk to? What activity should I do, bro? I'm lost. I haven't played in a while. I don't know what the fuck to do, bro. I look at, like, update videos. I don't know, bro. I don't even fucking know, bro.
At least from Rogue Lineage.
Like, other than Chime, obviously, but, like...
Lineage inspired games like Roblox, which many of you may know.
Same thing. That's the same thing as roaming around in the world. I'd rather roam around the world and encounter more people than having to fucking chime. It would be cool to fucking be just...
has inspired an entire new genre of Roblox parry-based slop. Joking, there are some good games, but for reference, without Deepwoken, we would have never gotten Type Soul, VV Ultimatum, Sorcery, that exit scam piece of trash if you like it, Ghoulry, Pilgrimed, which actually might be Rogue Lineage, but regardless, it is all the same development team. Even Roblox trends among older users, ranging from 13 to 20, follow Monad Studios. When parry-based anime games became popular and trending, it was a direct result of Deepwoken's existence. When CC games became abusive, it was an indirect result from Rogue Lineage.
The only reason I still play Rogue is I'm training just in case I end up going to hell. Bro, like that's gotta be one of the chats ever, bro. Like, facts, bro.
Which directly inspired Type Soul's close community behavior and systems, and then Type Soul was also directly inspired by Deepwoken with its parry-based mechanics.
This is actually hilarious,
indirectly
bro.
Inspired by Rogue Lineage, and then it went on to inspire other games. And Monad has consistently had game entries in the Bloxy Awards, comparable levels to that of Do Big Studios. You know, that slop group I made an entire video on because their old COO was black marketing? Fuck those guys, but that's besides the point. But the fact that they rake in millions and own over 300 games on the platform, and their accolades are comparable to that of Monad Studios, despite only having 2 and
300 games on the platform and they make slop? That's insane, bro. They're fucking billionaires.
game releases, if we count Cursed Gear, is a huge accomplishment for Monad Studios, and I think it's just because Monad Studios is that good. They only have 2 major games. They're having 1 game currently in development that's not even out yet, really. It had like a little public playtest a while ago, but it's undergoing some major changes before that re-release for Cursed Gear. But Rogue Lineage was huge for the time, because Rogue Lineage did average maybe, what, 10,000 players at its all-time peak, which doesn't sound like a lot compared to today, but Roblox's player base was also much smaller.
I remember it being like 8Ks and shit. I remember the 8Ks. Damn, 10Ks is crazy. I don't remember that. I remember 8Ks for sure. I remember 5Ks. I remember it was 5Ks for a good amount of time, bro. 4Ks, 3Ks, bro. When you see 3Ks, oh, 3Ks, it's getting little. But it's 3K, bro. Like, bro, fuck. We gonna get back. We gonna get back.
And the game was also much harder and more niche than Deepwoken is today. Deepwoken today is doing it averages around 6,000 to 8,000 players. In its peak average, it would go to around 20,000, and its all-time peaks around like layer 2 were close to 60,000, almost 70,000. And yes, those are big numbers, but you might be thinking, that doesn't compare to all these other games like Grow a Garden, which has millions of players, but you gotta remember, these are paid games. Most of the people on Roblox aren't spending Robux to pay games because they don't want to, or they can't because they're little kids and their parents won't.
But they're buying these games because they know they're gonna get an experience, bro. They've seen other people having an experience. They know the game is actually packed with real fucking development. Like, it's made from real niggas who put sweat and tears into their shit, bro. Like, just like Fortnite, bro. You hop on Fortnite, you know you finna have an experience, bro. You hop on Rogue, you know you finna get thrown off a cliff, you know? Hop on Deepwoken, you know you finna get fucking auto-parried and fucking one comboed. Like, it's just how it goes, bro.
At them. The point being, the fact that a paid game can pull players like this is insane, because Roblox is a platform that really does not incentivize paid games. And along with that, Monad Studios is one of the only game studios on Roblox making good and original content. Right now, 99% of Roblox can be put into one of the following categories: mass genre games like tower defenses, simulators, tycoons, obbies, etc. Anime-based RPGs, which are games like Sorcery and all of those sort of games. And then games that are too old to be alive anymore. Lots of the good original games that you might remember from like 2016 and older come from this category. But they don't live anymore because the games are too old and don't get updated. Rogue Lineage and Deepwoken aren't any of these. I guess they're kind of anime-based RPGs, but when I say that, I mean games that outright rip animes for their own games. Deepwoken and Rogue Lineage are at least original in most of their core ideas. Even if Rogue Lineage classes and Deepwoken spells are like 80% inspired by other sources of media, the game's entire identities are
It's too old to be alive, but it's too good to not be alive, bro. Come on, bro.
Own, rather than another intellectual property like VV Ultimatum or Type Soul being Bleach games. Deepwoken is just Deepwoken, and that, in my opinion, is what makes Monad Studios so special. Along with that, I've never seen a Roblox group be able to pull longevity like these developers can. You might be talking about how, oh, well, Deepwoken only has longevity because of weekly updates. But look at Rogue Lineage. That game still pulls 1,000 players, and it's 8 years old at this point.
And it doesn't get updates. It doesn't get updates!
Which is insane, because Type Soul is a free game, has peaked over 140,000
Rogue Lineage does not get updated.
And that game has dropped to 0 players on multiple occasions after just months of no updates. But Rogue Lineage can keep a steady 1,000 as a paid game in 2026 with no major updates since really like 2019, 2020. That's insane. And it really just shows how special Monad Studios really is and how they're truly capable of making...
I mean, I'll accept like the class ads as somewhat major, like they're semi-major. But, you know, like class reworks, semi-major. Not really, yeah, but I feel there literally hasn't been anything major since Update Ultimate. And to be fair, not a major like Update Ultimate has to happen. There's just a lot of quality of life, you know, bro. A lot of people, you know, a lot of people love a subclass remover maybe. You could say that you would bring that up every time you go into this topic. You feel me? But there's so much more shits that people just want and would be such a good, it would have a place in this game. I can't even speak it, bro. Don't take it from me. I'm a dumbass, bro. But take it from me on a good day where I have my notes, bro. I'm not a dumbass.
some of the best games on the platform. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yes. Comment about how I'm glazing. Amagasto and Ragoozer have me at gunpoint, blah, blah, blah. Just want to be a little bit real for today. Didn't have anything to rant about, and I feel like too much of Roblox is slop, so I want to give some praise where it's due. Face reveal Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Raycon Live. The Japan vlog is finally coming. Everyone's going to be so excited, I know. You guys get to see me. Please don't call me ugly. I might cry. Or come. Who knows. Anyway, buy a YouTube membership at any tier, even the lowest, to hear all my song covers. I drop one every month. And shout out to my members of tier 2 or higher. Philip, Akio Sugikuni, Zerksky, Fun Guns, Crypto, Broccoli, Delusional Mo, Dev,
Dude, good video. Deepwoken YouTuber glazes Rogue Lineage, bro. That fucking gnat. This one gnat, bro. He pops up when I'm distracted. Feel me? He knows I'm about to. Good Deepwoken YouTuber makes a video glazing Rogue Lineage that is completely valid with points on points. Very beautiful video. Good video. Facts. Spitting. Good video, bro. Good video. All right. I've been disconnected.
You would think it's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I